So if you clicked on this video, chances are that you already have an online tutoring business and you're looking for some more students. And you've looked at all the other guides online and they teach you how to become an online tutor, but they don't teach you how to actually get students. And there's a good reason for that. It's because they want to either charge you for that information or they don't want you stealing their clients. They don't want you becoming a competitor. But I don't care about any of that. I want to give you the exact methods and strategies that you can use to get more students for your online tutoring business. If you're new here, I'm Ash and I grew my tutoring business to millions of followers and multiple 5-figure months. But I didn't always have that. I started from absolutely nothing, from the ground up. I quit my job in a primary school and went into the online teaching world with 0 students to my name. And somehow I managed to build that up from 0 all the way up to hundreds of students at a time. And how did I do that? Well, I utilized these 6 different methods that I'm about to teach you in this video. And so by the time you finish this video, you'll know all of those 6 methods and you can start using them to grow your teaching business. And make sure to stay until the end because the last method is the one I've used to scale from thousands of dollars a month to tens of thousands of dollars a month. So let's break down all of those methods, starting with word of mouth or referrals. Now, when I first started tutoring English online, I also worked with kids. Now, I don't do that anymore, thank goodness. But I also worked with kids, I taught kids. And one of the things that helped me grow the fastest was just their parents seeing how engaged the kids were in the lessons, how much fun they were having, and then those parents telling other parents, "Oh, Ash, he's such a great teacher. You should definitely give him a try." Like, they were my marketing. They did a fantastic job at marketing for me. Word of mouth is such an important tool when it comes to student acquisition. Now, you also have referrals, which are basically word of mouth plus some kind of incentive. So for example, if you say to a student, if you recommend a friend to me, you'll get 50% off of your next lesson, or you'll get a lesson free. These sometimes can really help that person to just make the extra effort to talk about you to their friends or to others who you might be able to help. Now, from my experience, you don't need to officially announce that you're doing referral offers. Just say individually to the student, "Hey, if you recommend me to another friend, I'll be happily give you a class for free." And just doing that makes it feel more personal and makes them more likely to go off and invite a friend in and give you a new student. So don't make this big show of, "Oh, referral bonus." Just tell them individually, and I promise you, you'll get better results. So who is this method for? Everyone. You can all utilize word of mouth and referral bonuses. The pros are that it's completely free, but the cons are that it's not 100% reliable, and you shouldn't rely solely on word of mouth to scale your business because you don't know when people are going to recommend your classes to someone else. Physical ads. Physical ads are things like posters, billboards, flyers, newspaper ads, anything you can physically touch or see. Now, I'll be honest, I don't have a whole lot of experience with this method, so I hit up a friend of mine to give me some more information about it. And what he said was super interesting. He's had great success with physical ads because he runs a hybrid tutoring business, both online and in person. And it just so happens that his business that's catered towards university students is in a university city. He can head to the university library, drop off a few flyers, and already start to get a few new students for his business. Now, of course, when it comes to physical ads, they are extremely localized. You can only afford to advertise in one area, unless you're a huge company that has a massive marketing budget, in which case, please contact me. I know how to help that marketing budget go further. But for most of you, you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to spend on marketing. So who are physical ads for? Well, if you have a very localized ideal student, what I mean by that is if you're targeting university students in a university city, or you're targeting school children with lots of schools around, then physical ads are going to be extremely beneficial for you and your business. The pros are that it's extremely targeted and memorable. The cons are that it is very local and it's quite expensive to print out flyers and posters and billboards. Now, you might be thinking, what about online ads? And we will discuss those, but before we get to them, let's first discuss this. Cold outreach. Have you ever received a call from a number that you don't know And when you answer the phone, it's someone trying to convince you to change your car insurance or your network provider, and you just hung up. That was cold outreach. Cold outreach is contacting and pitching to people that don't already know that you exist. You might be surprised, but it can work well for online tutoring. Back when I first started tutoring, I really wanted to work with Japanese students who wanted to improve their English. The only problem being, I wasn't in Japan at the time. And so I decided to hunt down language exchange apps that Japanese speakers were on, and also join communities of Japanese students studying abroad. And whenever someone in those communities or on those platforms asked questions about English, or they complained that their English wasn't good enough, I was always the first one to comment and pitch my offer. And sometimes I just posted my services directly into the community to see if anyone would be interested. I got a lot of no's, but I also got some of my very first students from doing that. And if you want other places to look for students like that, well, you can try things like Facebook groups, Reddit, or Discord communities. Now, who is cold outreach for? I would say it's for those of you who are very early on in your online teaching career. And for pros, it's free and it's generally pretty easy to do. The cons are, it does take time and you'll get a lot of no's. In addition, some communities and platforms don't like you self-promoting, so you have to be a bit careful about how you do it. Online teaching platforms. Now, online teaching platforms are sites where students and teachers sign up and then can be matched together based on the student's preferences, like their budget or what they're looking for. They're meant to be very simple. You sign up, you create a profile, and students can start finding you. Now, if you know me well, my opinion on these sites is pretty negative. I think there are a few small ones that are generally okay, but the large majority of them, especially in the language learning space, completely rinse teachers. They take their money through commissions, they take their time through difficult procedures, and generally speaking, you have to jump through a lot of hoops and spend a lot of time on the platform before you can start earning anything decent. Now, to be fully transparent, I did use some of these platforms when starting out, but I used them sparingly, and I only really used them in order to fill out slots that I knew weren't popular with my ideal student. So a 4 p.m. slot, when I know most of my Japanese students will have already gone to bed, I'll throw that on the website and see if someone bites. Because even if I got less money because of the commission, it was better than nothing. But as soon as I started to grow my business through these other methods, I moved my students from the platforms into my own independent teaching. Now, that was back when I first started teaching online, and I've checked a lot of these sites then, and they've only gotten worse with higher commissions, longer times until payout, and also many of them require several hundred hours before you can even think about raising your price. So who are they for? I would say if you've exhausted all other options and you still can't find students, maybe they're for you. I would also say if you're a teacher working part-time or you have the occasional empty slot that you just can't seem to fill, they can also be quite good for filling out slots at a cheaper price. The pros are, it's very hands-off. You don't need to put any effort in whatsoever. Just one good intro video is kind of enough. And for cons, there are quite a lot, but I'll try not to be biased when I give this list, but it's high competition, high commission, and also lack of flexibility when it comes to pricing. Now, before we jump into the last two and the best two methods for student acquisition, if you're an online tutor and you're scaling your business right now, then make sure to hit the subscribe button because I'll be releasing all of the info and all of the knowledge that I have that helped me grow my business to 5-figure months with millions of followers completely free on this channel. And if you want even more hands-on help, I run my mentorship program for online tutors quarterly. We're currently in the middle of a cohort right now, but make sure to sign up to my newsletter in the description down below to get notified on when the next cohort for the mentorship is open. Now let's continue with the next method, online ads. Now, if you already have a decent amount of students and you're looking to fully scale up, or you have some kind of online course or digital product, then online ads might be the best method for you. Now, the two main ads that we're talking about are Google ads and Meta ads. Google ads coming up in Google searches and Meta ads coming up on things like Instagram and Facebook. The way that most online ads work are that you pay some kind of fee, whether it's every month or every day. You select a target audience, and then they will show your ad in front of that target audience for as long as you're paying for those ads. Now, I could spend a whole video talking about how to use online ads to scale your tutoring business on Instagram, on Meta, but I'm not gonna do that in this video. Instead, I wanna give you 2 things that you need to know. And if you don't know them before starting online paid ads, you will fail and you will waste money. So the first thing you need to understand is ROAS, which is return on ad spend. It means how much money are you spending for each student that you are getting. I speak to many teachers, they don't know this. They can't give me a number. If you don't have a number, you don't know if it's working. If you don't know it's working, you are throwing money into a fire. The second thing you need to know if you want to do ads and not fail on it is you need to know how to make an ad that actually converts. It's not enough just showing an AI image of someone studying and then saying, get my lessons on it. No one wants to buy that. Do you want to buy that? I don't want to buy that. I want to see something that actually, motivates me to make a change in my life. If you can't make ads that motivate people to take action, you shouldn't be running paid ads, simple as. So who are online ads for? Well, they are for people who already have some money, some marketing budget set aside for their business, and for people who understand how to motivate others into taking action through ads. The pros are, if you have a winner ad and a winner offer, you can generate not just thousands of dollars, but tens of thousands of dollars in the info space. The cons are, if you don't know what you're doing, you are just throwing money away. Free value content. Free value content. It's things like social media, newsletters, long-form YouTube, and podcasts, where you share information, knowledge, or entertainment, and then you attract an audience that resonates with that content. Now, free value content is the #1 way I grew my following and the #1 way I grew and scaled my business beyond 5 figures a month. I guarantee you, if you post just a little bit of knowledge every single day for a whole year, by the end of that year, your tutoring business would have grown 3 times the size. Why? Because you build trust with that audience and you build authority with them. You become the first thing they think of when they're talking about that topic. When someone says, I want to improve my English, well, they've been improving their English already for the whole year with you. It just makes more sense for them to dive even deeper and to purchase your lessons or get your course. And it doesn't just build trust and authority with students, but with brands and institutions too. So who is posting content for? It is for everyone. I think every teacher should at least do a little bit of this. The pros, it's the best way to advertise and show off what you can do as an online tutor. The cons, it does take time to develop the skill, especially when it comes to posting videos online. It's not an overnight thing, but once you build it up, it really does work for you. Okay, so those were 6 ways to get new students for your online tutoring business. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out my newsletter in the description down below, where I'll be sharing tips every week for online tutors looking to scale their business. And if you're an online English teacher, then make sure to check out my new app Vocadex. It's a vocab learning app where you can create your own dictionary, share it with your students, and see if it helps them to improve their vocabulary. That's also in the bio below. And if you want to ask me any questions at all, I'll leave my Instagram and Telegram in the bio below. Feel free to reach out and ask me anything. As always, thank you for watching. I've been Ash, and keep on tutoring. I'll see you in the next one.